Okay, thank you to everyone that stayed. And last but not least, we have Dennis van Rooijen. He's the Director of Data Platform at GitLab. Dennis will be presenting our journey to harden the security and compliance of the data platform. In this session, Dennis will share the steps taken and lessons learned at GitLab strengthen the security and compliance of its data platform. Please welcome Dennis.
Thank you. So it is 5:45, quite late. I'm from the Netherlands, so probably my family is already having dinner, but let's dive into it. And we're going to talk about data security, and maybe it is a little bit late, but I think it is a perfect time to talk about data security because likely every one of you pushes all their data security trainings and compliance trainings to the very far end of the deadline, so I think perfect moment in time right here. Cool. Hi, everyone. Last year, I also was speaking here at the Data Science Conference about how I was leading an all-remote data team. And today, I want to talk you why I don't want to headline the newspapers. And maybe you are questioning why you did so many great stuff. Aren't you doing any great stuff? Well, I think we do. But when we are in the spotlight, then something went wrong, right? So either the data is not correct, or the platform is not performing, or in worst case, data is breached or get compromised. So before we start this one off, I want to talk a little bit about GitLab, GitLab the company. Our mission is to enable everyone to contribute to and co-create the software that empowers the world. We do that by developing DevSecOps platform delivered as a single application to help you innovate faster and iterate faster and innovate together. We do that amongst the DevSecOps lifecycle, so plan, create, etc. And at GitLab, we do that by living these 6 values, which is spelled credit. With the top tier credit is results for customers. This credit did change over time. So last year, we changed from results to results for customers. And in our team, we had a discussion, what does that mean for us, right? Because we as an internal team, we are serving our business partners. We are not directly interacting with our customers. So how can we achieve results for customers? And what I said to the team, well, you also have to understand that on a daily basis, we are processing and storing data of our customers. So if we want to achieve results for our customers, the first thing that we have to do is to keep our data, the customer data, safe for them. The goal of my team, the goal of the data platform team, is to provide the best-in-class data platform for GitLab to make data-driven decisions. We do that by supporting our business partners. In example, the distributed analysts, and in some cases we deliver even a stable counterpart to participate in their team. We have still a backlog of over 20 data sources we need to add, but we have many already in the system. So we also have to maintain those existing data pipelines by monitoring and solving any kind of issues, adding extra data if requested, and optimizing those pipelines. And last but not least, we need to keep our platform into a good shape. We're using a lot of SaaS tooling, which doesn't require a lot of maintenance, but for the tooling that we maintain ourselves, we need to do software version upgrades and provide data services. I'm doing that not alone. I'm doing that with a team of 8 great data engineers, and we really spend from the East Coast from India to the West Coast of the United States, having almost 24-hour coverage per day. To give you a good understanding what our platform looks like, so some numbers here to give you an order of magnitude. So we process over 350,000 query statements each and every day. We have over 4,000 DBT models, so data models running, 93 Airflow decks, 120 terabyte of production data, 64 data sources already connected, and over 220 Snowflake users on a monthly basis interacting directly with our system. Often I do get the question, Dennis, what keeps you awake at night? And the first thing that I tell them, that is data security. How can we keep our data safe, right? Because as I pointed out, we have a wide variety of data, and amongst a lot of technical challenges that we have, scaling the team, scaling the platform, performance platform, etc., data security is my topmost priority here. I also have to call out that we are not alone in this journey at the data team. We also have a central security team, which helps us on a daily basis, laying the foundation and come up with, let's say, company policies, and helps us performing security reviews when we procure new software or when we renew new software. But I felt over the last year, we had to add we had to make that extra step. We really had to protect our data assets against unauthorized usage. And for that, we introduced a new role in the team, which is called the Data Security Engineer. This new persona is basically a combination between a traditional engineer and a cybersecurity specialist combined in one person. And why should you do that? Of course, right? A data breach can lead to reputation damage, it can lead to fines, but we also have to understand that if data gets compromised, it is used by the malicious actors. So basically, if you have a data breach, the customers of you are in trouble, and you also put their customers at risk and their customers at risk. So there's a complete chain of risk mitigation, of risk that you have to mitigate. Well, how to do that? Basically, there are three elementary aspects. Here, I call it arm yourself. So avert, review, mitigate. But we are at a data science conference, so I also asked Secure GPT to come up with some other alliterations and acronyms. So please try to remember how it works for you. The 3 Bs, the 3 Cs, the 3 Ds, ACE, GEM, MAP, I don't care. I stay to ARM. So first of all, you want to avert, you want to prevent, you want to avoid that something happens, right? That's the first step here. The second thing is you want to monitor, to know if it happens, that you know that as soon as possible, but also exactly know what happened. And last but not least, you need to mitigate. So when it happens, you know it, you need to make the mitigation steps over there. To dive into the specifics here a little bit more, so what can you do to, let's say, to avoid having a data breach? First one, threat modeling. So threat modeling is a proactive approach to identify potential security vulnerabilities early in the development process. So not afterwards when you're almost going live and the security engineer raised their hand, that's not right, that's not right. Do it early in the process. Second, create awareness in the team. We came up with a list of secure coding guidelines, which is a set of best practices designed to help developers create the software. Another one, dedicated security reviews on the code. So our data security engineer performs code reviews in the MRs or in the PRs if you're using, of course, GitHub. He looks specific on certain security vulnerabilities, so looking at SQL injection, for example. Automate code security checks. So what better way to do a lot of things automatically? GitLab provides a wide range of out-of-the-box functionalities, which you can enable by default on your CI pipelines, SAS scanning, dust scanning, secret detection, dependency scanning, all out of the box available in our product GitLab. We also have a software update strategy, right? So we have built our own app that checks our repositories, our images, on existing software libraries that we are using, the existing version that we are using, and the versions available out there which we can upgrade to. This leads for us to a list of software that we validate, which one do we want to upgrade, which one do we need to upgrade, and which one can wait later on. Also, third-party assessment. Perform pen tests on your own environment. The things, the data products that you create, perform a pen test over there. But also open the conversation with your vendors. Ask them for their pen test for the software you are using, and ideally they are CREST certified. The next one, principle of least privilege. This is not the one that we came up with. This is company policy at GitLab as such, but please also apply this to your data platforms. The next one, data masking. Protect any kind of sensitive data, right? If you work with data, do you really need to see all the sensitive data, or can it be scrambled or something else? And user access review. Every quarter, we review all of the access that is there today with our team members, and we ask the manager, is this still the appropriate level of data access? And they need to approve and sign off every quarter. And if not, we deprovision access to the data. Talking about deprovisioning access, we also revoke access every quarter if there's inactivity on a certain user account. And depending on the system, we do that after 60 or 90 days. So if people are not active after 60 days, we deprovision access. And if they want to have access again, they need to apply. Limit your admins. So less is more. Every admin is an elevated risk. Not every team member needs to be an admin, right? MFA. Maybe we all can stand up for a second. Can we stand up for a second? Cool. Okay, you can sit down if you have applied MFA on all of your systems. Come on. Okay, go sit down if you promise me to look into it in the next 1.5 months. This is shocking, by the way. So, so please MFA apply that one. It's super simple and it's low-hanging fruit. IP range restrictions restrict the access to certain systems, and if you don't have a corporate VPN, then it can be quite challenging, of course, to do that on a user level, but then at least start on system account level. Make sure that the system that connects to another system can only connect with that user from a particular range of IP addresses. The next one, review. So you want to monitor to know if it happens, right? So what can you do over there? Data classification. Also here, we developed an application ourselves that scans and tags the data in our Snowflake instance. So we want to know which data is PII data, which data is MMPI data. So if something happens, we at least know what kind of data has been compromised. Data exports, monitor high volumes of data that are offloaded from your system. A malicious actor is not interested in the top 100 or the top 1,000 records. No, they completely offload in bulk a lot of data. Try to restrict it. If not possible, do monitoring. Worst case, there are some false positives, but at least you need to have some visibility into that. Connect your system with a security information and event management software. At GitLab, we have connected Snowflake to Devo, that provide real-time insights on certain security KPIs, what happens on the activity of your system. And version control data access. We have version control data access on Snowflake and on Tableau, and also there we develop some software ourselves. And there's the link which you can go to. So we use Permafrost for Snowflake and the Tableau Con Manager, we named that to manage the permissions on Tableau. And with this, we know exactly who did have access at what time to what kind of data. The third aspect is mitigate. So it still can happen, right? You do everything what you could. You observe that something happened, but then you want to mitigate. Please invest in strong relationships throughout your business. Invest in a relationship with your legal department, with your security department, and with your internal audit department. Create also an incident response plan. So as soon as something happens, you know what to do. Create a runbook, who to contact, what to do, etc. Password and key rotation process. Someone would say maybe this is a preventive measure. I would say this is mitigation, because if you do it in a preventive way, regularly you change your keys. But if it gets compromised, you need to do it on the fly. Within moments, you have to change your secrets, your passwords, your keys in your systems. Encryption, apply end-to-end encryption on data at rest and in transit. So if someone gets into your system, at least the data is encrypted and they cannot decrypt it unless they have the key, of course. And the last one, maybe a little bit controversial, but I'm very bullish on this one, data minimization. Only extract the data that is needed to fulfill the scope or the need of your business users. I think in the past there was a lot of buzz to extract all the data into the data lake and see afterwards the value of it. Stop, please stop doing that, because it puts you at risk and it's also very costly. What we do, we only extract the sources that we need to extract. We also take a deliberately look at which endpoints we want to extract, and sometimes even on JSON level, we determine which key value pairs we want to extract to the central data team. The lessons learned. Data security can't wait for tomorrow. Start today with MFA, for example. Start with it, right? Because the longer you wait, the longer you're at risk, and the longer you wait, the more you have to do and have to mitigate. A dedicated resource inside the data team really elevates your data security maturity. With the hire of the data security engineer in our team, awareness raised, we added a lot of controls, a lot of knowledge, and the relationship with the security department also increased. And of course, that is everyone's responsibility within the organization. Not only the data security engineer, not only the security department, but also each and every one of you. The weakest link here is always a human factor. Work is never completed, so that might be a little bit unsatisfying, but that's fact. You keep going this one. So create a roadmap, monitor progress, know where you are a year ago and know where you are right now, and also try to adjust that roadmap every now and then. Do not burden your stakeholders. So you can say, well, it is not allowed to load some data into a spreadsheet. We want to avoid that. We don't want to enable that. But if you do it that way, they still will do it. They don't take no for an answer. So my opinion here is you can better do this in a controlled, governed environment rather to say no, and it still happens without your knowledge over there. And the last one, continuously learning and improving. Learn from your mistakes, learn from what you have done, and try to improve here. So when I go to conferences and when I'm about to speak, I always have a goal in mind. My goal for today was at least to put data security in the spotlight. So when I become your customer, at least my data is in your safe hands. Thank you. Any questions? Cool. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so thank you all for joining us in the Lavender Hall for today's session on deep learning and ML application. We hope you found these talks very helpful, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.